Good evening and welcome to the Thursday, April 6th regular select board meeting, 2023. Our first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, do we have any public comments that are not on the agenda? Sue?
Yes, one good or bad first.
Surprise me.
First thing, on our road, Monument Road, it's starting to cave in really bad. It's dipping right in front of Mike Bainhoff. Well, it used to be Mike Bainhoff, but his son. It's, we get a lot of traffic done and it's starting to break up quite a bit. I just want to let you guys aware of it. It is getting dangerous down there. I don't think it's been done or repaved in probably 20 years, if I'm guessing right, but it's getting bad. It's starting to break up down there. It's getting really bad. And we get a lot of traffic down there.
Is it the pavement or is there actual?
It's actually dipping, right? Yep. Yep, and I just want to let you guys be aware of that. And we get a lot of traffic down there. I don't know, 12 months a year. It's traffic. I just want to let you guys be aware of it. Second one, I have talked to Carla Smith about the bake sale on Memorial Day. She is willing to do it if somebody can help her with it. She is willing to go ahead with it. I'm not gonna be there, but she is willing to go ahead with it this year. We did borrow 2 tables from the fire department last year and a canopy. My biggest question is, she needs somebody there to help her. I'm not gonna be there this year. One thing I do wanna suggest, Heidi gave me some flyers on May 17th. Is there any way that we could do some flyers at that meeting so people is aware of this bake sale still on Memorial Day? I'm doing the best I can to get the word out, but I'm gonna be strapped after May 9th. I just wanna make sure that we are still doing the bake sale. And I thought that might be a good time to do some flyers on the 17th of May at that meeting.
So which meeting?
The 17th of May, is that correct, Heidi? The one that's over with the GPA meeting? I thought that might be a good idea to leave some flyers on the table at the same time for the bake sale. I'm just suggesting this, but this is one way of getting the word out to the people.
Yeah.
And that's about all I have to say, is just I'm trying to find some way to work with Carla the day of the Memorial Day.
Yes, I'm sure I can
Okay.
either help or
I've got
round
the
up
bin, I'm
somebody.
gonna give her the bin, because I've got the bin with all the stuff in it, and, she's willing to go ahead and do it without me there this year, so.
Okay.
I'm really happy about that, because it's something that we started really good, and I really don't wanna have it flop.
Yeah.
So we've been doing it for the last, I think, 3 years, and last year was our best year ever.
Yeah.
So that was my good news.
Okay.
Tied in with Memorial Day, we are planning on having a meeting on the last Sunday of this month. What time was church getting? What time did church get?
I go to 8:30 mass, and I can go right after. What day is
It's
that?
probably around 10 o'clock. We have had a couple of people interested in coming on our committee to help us.
Yeah.
We also have thrown out a couple ideas and had them come to us. One was a cow plot. Another one was asking the Little League to do a father-son type game in the afternoon. And I'm still waiting to hear back from Summer Concert Sound on if they would be interested in a concert on Monday, but they were short.
Okay, so this is the last Sunday of April.
Yes,
What day would that be on?
I have no idea. The Sunday seemed to work better for everybody Sunday morning.
April 30th, okay.
And it's what time?
Around 10 o'clock, I think we were shooting for,
Okay.
At the fire department,
at the arena.
at the arena, okay. It's just so I know, okay.
Okay. Okay, anything else? Okay, so before we go on to opening the bids, we need to have a reorganization of the select board again. I apologize, Vern, I did not realize that you were unhappy with our motion before, and so we will reorganize. So, take a motion for chair.
I nominate Sharon.
I will second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. I have a motion for vice chair.
I nominate Vern.
Vern doesn't want it.
Oh.
I nominate Richard.
I'll second that.
Richard, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Alright, so you gotta be okay, that's the thing.
Okay.
I mean, I appreciate the honor and the apology,
Okay,
you said
okay.
it's not a big deal, but I just, yeah,
Okay.
we can talk about it afterwards.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
that's okay.
Okay.
You go.
Yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And Scott, we welcome you to our meeting, and hopefully at the end of this meeting, you will be a new select board member.
I'd like to be able to chat with the select
Yep.
board.
So
Thank you very much.
we'll bring you into executive, and hopefully that'll get our number up to 4, and we're on the search for a 5.
Thank you.
Okay, so first order, transfer station bids. We can all have 2. Take 2, pass on.
Yes.
All right.
Who else is on there? Chris?
Jason, Chris, George, Robin. And that's all I can read.
Michelle's phone.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the second one?
Michelle.
Michelle's phone.
Ready to go?
Michelle's phone.
Oh. No, but okay.
Hi, yeah, representing Grace Excavating.
Right, excavating, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'll start with Wright's Excavating. The lump sum bid is $1,989,600. Unit prices. Unit price for solid rock excavation and disposal, $300 per unit. Excavation, disposal, and replacing unsuitable soils with structural fill, $60 per unit. Contractor's markup on change orders, add 10%. And we have all their insurance on file already. So, yeah. And to be completed before September 29th, 2023. Okay, Richard, you wanna do one?
Yep. King's Trucking.
Yep.
Price is $1,175,000. And their units, unit price, solid rock is $50. And excavation disposal is $43. And I think I got proof of insurance and references.
We can send these out to the engineer afterwards and have him verify everything is, meets the requirements of the RFP.
Yep. Vern, would you like to do one?
Yep, I got G.W. Tatro out of Jeffersonville, Vermont. Total bid $2,272,000. As for the material, 200 cubic yards and 90 cubic yards for per cubic yard for disposal. The markup was adding plus 15 and minus 5% below, and the completion date looks like September 29th, 23 is what they propose.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I didn't catch the first
Yep,
unit.
200.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, unit 200 for the rock and 90 for the cubic yard for excavation.
Okay, yep,
You got markups?
I got you, yep.
Okay.
Next bid is Bird's Eye Building Company, DBA Bird's Eye Site Work. Submitted by Brett Combs. Lump sum bid, $2,092,500. $125 per unit for solid rock excavation and disposal, $75 per unit on excavation. 15% to add, 5% deduct. Okay, Richard.
J. Hutchins, $1,992,200. Unit price for solid rock excavation, $400 a unit. And excavation disposal is $85. And
Markup for change orders.
for what, with the old change orders? It's, add 15%, you deduct, 0%.
Okay, and I did not ask you that on Kings, so to make this equal, can you tell me what Kings were?
Yep.
On their, change up orders.
Add 15%, deduct 0.
Okay. Okay, Vern.
My second one is J.P. Sicard out of Barton, Vermont. Bid amount $2,387,000. For the rock itself, 200 per cubic yard. Disposal 141 a cubic yard. And the markup plus 20 and minus 5. And same completion date of September 29th, 23.
Okay, so current low bidder is $1,175,000. High bidder is Sicard with $2,387,000.
Would you mind rereading the Hutchins lump sum bid, please?
Yes. $1,992,200.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And do we want the engineer to look at these prior to our selection, or?
Yeah, I think he will vet them all for you tomorrow. But you have your apparent low bidder, so if you wanna select your choice, and he can verify them for you.
Thoughts, Jenny?
Which one was the lowest?
King's.
King's Trucking,
One,
out of Cambridge.
1.175.
Yeah,
okay.
1.175.
My only concern about that is their unit prices look extremely low compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want them to have cut themselves short. Not that I'm against taking the lowest bid, but I want to make sure they can do the job. So that concerns me a little bit, because the closest you have is 125 at Bird's Eye Site Work, and they're down to 50 for solid rock excavation disposal. I'm by no means an engineer, but solid rock excavation is expensive.
Can I ask a question?
Certainly.
Did all of the bids come with the appropriate backup documentation, the bid bonds and the references and stuff that was required?
Let's just verify all that. Hutchins did,
Yeah, you got everything.
okay. Bird's Eye did,
Sicard's did. Pedro's did. They're good.
King is good.
And I'm making the assumption that Wrights is on file. They're showing no subcontractors, which that may be the case, that they're gonna do it all themselves.
Check that one. Be sure.
Speaking for Rights Excavating, yes, we do have bonds on file. If it's needed, I can show documentation of that. It must have been something I overlooked in the book.
So I'm assuming you're not preparing to do, subcontractors,
Or not.
okay? So King's is good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which one's this?
Kings.
Yeah, they're good.
See the last papers?
Not as colorful as the other ones. but it's all
Yeah.
right.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
Say let the engineer look at Kings again, to see, like you said, if the low volume or the low price for the rock is right.
It's so far off from the
Yeah.
others, it's suspicious.
Yeah, there's like a one missing in front of each one, it seems, or something.
Yeah.
Might be a typo.
I mean, most of the others are, fairly in line with each other. Even the price is fairly in line, but one is quite a lot lower, and the unit price is extremely suspicious. So I'd ask to table
Yeah, that's nice.
the bidding process between King's Trucking and Wright's Excavating. Is that a fair, in order for those to be vetted by the engineer? And we'd look at the recommendation by the engineer. Can we do that in a timely fashion and still on this project stay on? Okay. So we thank all of the bidders. It will be a discussion between Wright's Excavating and King's Trucking as based upon our engineer's recommendations. We will give our approval at the next meeting. So at the April 20th select board meeting.
It'll be the same Zoom link, or will you send out another one?
Yeah, she'll send out another Zoom link.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, all the paperwork goes back together. Just set aside Kings and Wrights. Okay. This is Wrights, Kings. Okay. Alright, moving on. Policing services bid. We have one bid for services from the city of St. Albans. They are proposing, a price increase, to $89.02 per hour from our previous contract of $77.41. We are still at the 26 hours. Just verify that. Yes, 26 hours a week. Shelley, as far as budgeting, can we pull that off?
Sharon, I'm sorry, I was thinking about something else from the prior bidding process in my head when you said that bid. Can you please repeat for me what that was?
Okay, so for St. Albans Police bid 8902, up from 7741, which is a total of 1352 hours per year. Now, did we receive official written confirmation that they were ending our previously signed contract?
No, it just runs out in, July. And this one begins in July, I believe.
July 1st to July.
So the one that you have for $89 would begin July 1st, 2023. And the one that you're in for $77.41 per hour goes up to
So we
June
did,
30th.
sorry, we did raise our, budget for that as it goes up every year.
Right.
At their new price, we would be able to get 24 hours a week with what we budgeted. We budgeted 115,000.
Okay.
I got a question, Sharon. How come, or what was the process of trying to receive bids? Did the select board reach out?
We have reached out several years running to different organizations that have that capacity. And most are either unwilling or unable to assist us. Some of it's manpower, some of it's internal struggle, some of it's don't want to bother, I'm not sure. But yes, we've asked.
My hesitation on hearing that is, yes, the police department is more than willing to serve Highgate's community. Problem is, their leadership really don't want, the ones making the decisions for the police department out there don't really want them to be up here. Almost pricing us out of a police service, and
Well,
how
they-
long are we gonna get out of?
They won't extend this contract beyond this year. We've already been told that. We've been told that when they merge with the town for their policing, we're out. And that is at the request of St. Albans Town. They want to have the say as to where those offices are allocated, and it's been made pretty clear that it does not include the town of Highgate.
Sharon, was that for 26 hours still?
This one was for 26 hours.
We're having a hard time filling that now.
Well, yeah, I was gonna ask you, I know that we were notified that the police coverage had, had some trouble covering the required hours and had asked for,
I think the last bill I got, I thought it was in this one, but I might have received it right after I did this. Yeah, it's in my next check run folder, but they covered as many hours last month as they should have in a week. So if they're promising that, that's kind of concerning to me.
I can tell you that we are looking at longer term solutions. But since none of that is in the works yet, I'm just throwing that out there that we know we got a problem.
Because I hate to see us sign a contract for something that they can't fulfill. And then are we
Right.
stuck? Can we get out of it? Contract with somebody else?
Right.
If there was someone else to contract
Is
with.
there anything else?
Well, yeah, that's the problem. We don't have anyone
Yeah.
else at the moment.
I think right now, I don't think we should go ahead with this right now.
Well, yeah, I'm,
Sure. The question is, because the city's contract starts July 1st, it's on the town.
Of next year.
of next
Oh,
year.
next year, okay.
Yeah. And according to their chief, they were all set with help. They were gonna be right on the money, but that doesn't appear to be true.
If they don't fulfill the hours obligated, do we get a refund? Is that the way it
We're
works?
not getting a refund at the moment, we're only getting billed for the hours that they're
That they're actually
working.
working?
I don't see any backup to that. I don't know if there's like a schedule that's sent, or they used to do that a long time ago, but I don't have any backup to that. I just have an invoice from City Hall, but it appears to be just the hours that they're
Actually
here.
working, alright.
Okay, so,
How's it not on notice by people in the town either?
No,
yeah. I would say let's table this until we can have a conversation with St. Albans to see if they think they will be able to meet their obligation of this contract. And to discuss some other possible solutions.
You want a motion to table it?
Please,
I'll make a motion to table it.
I'll second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Ty, would you like to?
Go ahead and tell them about your applicant.
So, Parks and Rec opened up, bidding, for bid request for, a 6-month snack bar lease at the arena. We got one interested party. A couple of us board members and Jess met with her last Friday, so she could see the space, ask any questions she may have of us, talk to her a little bit of what she's thinking about the space. we invited her to our meeting this past Tuesday for the whole board to look at the bid and the same process, any questions back and forth. We felt comfortable that being a 6-month lease, it would be a good trial period for both parties. And something that I think a lot of people in the town are looking for is to have that snack bar open on a non-ice season. So our recommendation is to offer Natalie's Noshes a 6-month contract for the snack bar. Pending she gets the licenses required to sell food and stuff. And she's been in contact with the state already, and they told her it's about a 10-day, hoping a 10-day process to come in and do
Inspection.
inspection and everything. That's our recommendation.
Who is Natalie's Nauseous?
Natalie.
It's Angela and Michelle Jewers. Masha?
No. I forget her last name now.
Is it in the contract?
Tucker, Natalie Tucker.
Oh.
From Swanton. Got history, I guess in the Navy she worked the Chow Hall. And she's been at the arena for Summer Sounds with her baked goods
Oh, yeah.
and everything.
What's the menu?
Is very wide open. She's gonna try some of her baked goods. She wants to try breakfasts. In the proposal, it was breakfast lunch, and we let her know our thoughts of what could succeed with the fields being used for suppers and stuff. And families traveling from out of town really don't want to have to feed their kids at McDonald's every time because. And she was very open to our suggestions. Some home baked breads for the sandwiches and soups. And sounds like it will be a good experience.
She's got a, I just Googled her name, she's got a good Reddit and a messenger with her history. And it looks like she makes really good whoopie pies.
There you go, Vern.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully she succeeds and things go well. Okay, do I have a motion to accept?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Only other thing on that Sharon was when she did do the walkthrough, the space doesn't have an oven, and we were under the impression that it should, no matter who's in there anyways. So the rec board is looking into what it would cost for that and to replace the current stovetop griddle that's there, that's town owned with that.
Do you have the space?
If we replace the griddle with an oven that has a griddle on top, then yes, we do. If not, then no.
Is she willing to go forward without it?
I believe so.
Okay. Okay. Shelley.
Moving on. So Sharon has a check warrant in front of her. Are there any questions on that?
Okay, do I have a motion to sign?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So while you're signing, I know I emailed you a delinquent tax update, but even since I emailed you Tuesday, quite a few payments have come in.
Okay.
So as of today, we are at a balance of $66,503.46. The tax sale was canceled. We had a little typo with the Bard Estate address when it went from the attorneys to the public. So we will be starting over with that one single property sooner than later, because it was very apparent it was going to go to tax sale.
Okay.
And there was many people interested. So just crossing Ts and dotting Is and making sure that's done the right way. Everybody else that was on that tax sale, paid, either received financial aid from the VHAP program, which is still happening.
Good.
Or came in and made good. So there is still programs out there for anyone that needs assistance paying their tax bills. Other than that, the only other thing I have is Kelly Avery from VLCT emailed Heidi and I this morning. Did you already forward that to them or no?
I did.
Okay, it was a lot.
Sent it electronically and Sharon has a copy.
Okay, yeah, so I just real quickly to go through a few highlight numbers. This is for life insurance, long-term disability, which I'm not sure how many employees actually offer, and then short-term disability. I think short-term disability is much more popular than long-term disability. But life insurance, they offered us 3 different options, a $10,000, a $25,000, and a $50,000 policy. I mean, $10,000 policy per employee would cost the town $218 annually. And that covers 9 full-time employees. That's the total. So that was, I thought, you know, for a basic plan, pretty cheap policy. The $25,000 was $545 to cover the 9 employees. And the $50,000 was $1,090. And then long-term disability, there was 2 options, and it's kind of expensive for, again, something I'm not sure how many employers actually offer their employees, but there was a 50% and a 60% base pay, and the 50% was just under $1,400 annually for the premium, and the 60% base pay was just over $2,000 annually. And then short-term disability, which is what a few of our employees are really trying to get, is the 60% base pay, which I think is most common around employers when they offer short-term disability. 60% base pay is an annual premium of $1,620, and the 50% base pay would be $1,194. So if the town of Highgate was to offer, and I went middle of the road for the life insurance on the $25,000 policy and the 60% for the short-term disability, but if the town of Highgate offered just those 2 benefits to their 9 full-time employees, it would cost an annual policy premium of $2,165.
For 9 people.
To cover 9 people. And that's a $25,000 life insurance policy and a 60% base pay if you need to be on short-term disability.
Okay. All right.
You also have the information in your packets for the dental and the vision. And was there something else? That's probably it.
I didn't see that from Kelly.
It was just from a while ago,
Oh, the previous.
stuff.
So these 3 policies would be employer fully paid. The employee does not pay for any of this.
Right.
And then the other, the vision, the dental, those are, it could be fully employee, it could be,
Right.
that could be split. but these three specifically would be employer paid benefits. If you so choose.
Okay. Alright, I say we have a chance to look at those over and then schedule a meeting with the employees and see what we have for interest and
It's an all or
go from
nothing,
there. Yep,
that's the only thing, so it's actually your decision. Either you're gonna do it for one, which means you're gonna do it for all,
right.
or you're not doing it for anybody. So I think for this type of benefit, I'm not sure, I can see a meeting with the employees when it comes to the
Right.
dental and vision and the extra stuff that would involve their paycheck as well, probably. This one probably not so much, cause it's a you're doing it or you're not. You're gonna pay for it or you won't.
Right. So you had made mention that you had some people that might be interested in certainly the short term.
Right, cause short-term disability, well, if there's a surgery, like Mr. Martin
Right.
would have to be on short-term disability after a surgery if he was gonna be out of work for X amount of time. It's what covers maternity leave, which I think is,
Right.
one of the factors in this situation. One of the highway guys got hurt and needed to be out for an extended period of time. If you, as a family member, need to care for another family member under FMLA, short-term disability could kick in. Life insurance, I mean, that's pretty much just covers your funeral expense.
Well, yeah.
And it's
I was
takes
gonna
relief
say.
off the family.
Right.
So,
I'd like to offer it. I think nowadays it becomes more and more important to take care of our employees, to make sure that we're not a burden to their families. You know, God forbid something happened. You have that, and as far as the maternity leave, $2,165 is extremely reasonable
yes,
for a price tag.
absolutely.
You know, and it would cover all 9 employees, and
I can't believe how inexpensive it is. I'm surprised that this hasn't been in place way before
right.
now.
Makes me wanna work here.
I'll go with you.
So good?
So, Richard, what do you think?
I agree with you. I think it's probably a good idea.
Vern?
Yes, we need to incentivize our workers to stay.
Okay,
Make it
so
a
do I have a
business.
motion?
I'll make that motion.
I will gladly second.
Alright, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So, Shelley, do
So
you
that was,
wanna?
well, that 2165 was for the middle of the road, the 25,000 life insurance.
Yep,
And the higher end, the 60%, not 50% of the short-term disability.
correct.
Okay,
So you wanna handle it? You want
Or-
Heidi to handle it?
we've
Which,
been tag teaming.
okay,
She
All right.
can do that.
okay,
Yep, she
so
knows the personnel stuff better than I do.
sign people up.
Okay. On it.
Okay,
Sounds like a Good Friday uninterrupted project.
there you go. There.
It's Good Friday, think it that way.
And it's Good Friday.
There you go.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Shelley, I'm surprised you didn't think of
I
that.
did not.
Okay, Wendy.
Okay, so you have 2 sets of minutes, town meeting day, which, so Richard and Sharon were there, and then March 16th was your last regular meeting.
Okay, has everyone had a chance to read the minutes?
Yes.
Yep.
Richard, do you approve the town meeting day minutes?
Yes.
Me too. you can make the motion, I'll second, and aye.
Aye,
Okay,
that was easy enough.
yep, March 16th.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Phil Ledoux also looked at the town meeting minutes and he's already signed off on them as well.
Okay.
All right, so we're back to some positions that need to be filled by appointment. After the last meeting, we put out a pretty good sized list of positions we were still looking to fill. We did get some interest, and I believe you have everything. We had one person, Robin Klein, I believe she's on Zoom. Hi, Robin.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi.
She has put in a letter of interest to serve on the planning commission, and that position was the one vacated by Bruce Ryan. There's 2 years left to fill on that 3-year term. Did you want to go one by one and make a motion, or how do you want to do this?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'll make that motion for Robin.
Vern,
I'll second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Welcome to the planning commission.
Thank you, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, great.
Thank you, Robin.
Okay.
So, the library trustees had a position that was, it was, Becky Johnson stepped down. And last night at their meeting, they, made a motion, and now they would like it to go before you, to appoint Amy Ringville to serve as a library trustee until town meeting day 2024.
Okay. Can I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Scott Martin is here. I don't know if you want to talk to him more later, but he submitted a letter of interest for a select board seat
Okay.
to serve until town meeting day 2024.
Okay, would you like to do that in executive, or would you like to do it now? Vern, Richard?
Can it be done now, or do you wanna talk to us?
Tell us about
Before-
yourself, Scott.
Yeah.
I'm Scott Martin. I've been living in Highgate now for 25 years. I've had the privilege of serving on the DRB here in Highgate Development Review Board. Where I learned a lot about the community, as well as some local government. Raised 2 children here, and I have one still lives local and I have 5 grandchildren, which 3 of them attend the school over here. The other 2 are in Sheldon. I retired, so I had some time, and I said what I would like to do is work collaboratively with the board on projects and seeing our town move forward.
Yep.
And I'd like to be able to have that opportunity. Thank you.
He was a moderator at town meeting too.
Yeah.
So, any questions? I've known Scott for a little bit and watched him at the DRB, so I'm familiar. Richard, I think you're familiar as well.
Yeah.
Vern, any questions?
I think I came before you in the DRB about 3 years ago when I built my house, so.
I was?
Yep.
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're familiar, yeah?
Yeah, I'm thinking, I do know you now.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Welcome.
Wendy will give you a lovely oath, and you will officially be a select board member.
I'm looking forward
Welcome.
to being part of your team. Thank you.
We have lots and lots of stuff to do.
Good.
Let's see. So fire commissioner, you actually received 2 letters of interest.
Yes, so we received a letter from Keith and a letter from Liza Kaminsky.
Do you have both of those? Have you seen both of those? Okay.
Yes, right here. Alright, well, Keith, would you like to speak to the board?
Well, I'm Keith Luke. I've been associated with Highgate Fire for some 40 years when I retired. And just saw the opening and thought with my experience I have, it'd be nice to come back and give back to the community more, that I have more time on my hands. The opportunity arose, so I saw it, so I decided to apply for it.
Okay.
I am involved with the Vermont State Firefighters and Franklin County Firefighters Association.
Okay. Liza had written a letter, so I'll read her letter because she's not here. Just says, Dear Highgate Select Board members, I'm ready to express my interest in the Town of Highgate Fire Commissioner position. As a member of the Highgate Volunteer Fire Department, I believe I have both the knowledge and dedication to do this position justice. Sharon and I have spoken on several occasions over the past month about this position. I have also spoken to Kyle Lothian, and most importantly, the current line officers of the department. Getting their insight and support before moving forward was extremely important to me. Without that, I would not be writing this letter of interest today. In closing, I would be honored to serve as Highgate's Fire Commissioner. As with everything I do, I promise to put my whole heart and soul into this position. I thank you in advance for your consideration and welcome you to reach out if you have any further questions. Which Liza had put her letter in on the 22nd, same day as Keith. It's just Sharon wasn't paying attention to her email. So, gentlemen.
God, I wish Kyle were here. I really don't know. Liza wasn't able to make it.
Well, I didn't know that Keith was going to be here today, so I didn't ask her to come and tell her. She would have, I just...
I'm gonna recuse myself out of this one.
If you're stepping back, I really should step back.
No, it's just due to relationships.
Well,
That's all.
I think I got the same problem.
Okay, well that's the thing.
You know, I wanted,
Okay.
he lives with me and I'm on the fire department with her, so,
Okay.
you know.
That's up to you, Sharon. It's all on you.
I guess, yeah.
If you had an assistant, so that way there, if you have two, I mean, could they two be a commission? I mean, I see where you guys are coming from.
Like a primary and a deputy kind of thing.
Right, I'm just giving it as a suggestion.
It's like they work together.
Work together, that's what I'm thinking of, because I know where you guys are.
Yeah.
I see you're facing a hard decision, but if you put them both together and let them work together, that's my suggestion. I'm not on the select board, but I'm just giving you a suggestion.
Get outside the box, are you, Sue? I like that.
Well, you're gonna miss me when I'm not here for 2 months, but I know where you guys are coming from, and I know it's a hard decision. And I think having them both together, having them work together, if one can't be there, the other one can be. I'm just giving this as a suggestion.
I guess I'm gonna make it real easy. I'll withdraw my name.
I'm gonna throw a curveball in it.
Okay.
Traditionally, it's been a select board member that has been appointed to it, hasn't there? Yeah, Ben?
It has been.
And you currently have
But,
2 openings.
yeah.
Is there an urgency on filling that position? Or-
No, and the other thing would be that it's not a big job. which is why I would hesitate in the sharing it, because there's really not that many responsibilities to it.
Yeah, if you really read up in the state statutes, there's not much to do with it, it's just working between the fire department
Right.
and the select board in your town. If somebody has a big problem, they can go to you and answer the question.
Right.
That's why I figured after 45 years of serving as fire chief for 5, I thought I had that.
Right.
Better knowledge behind it.
Well, we're on a roll for tabling
was gonna
things
say
tonight, so that's always an option.
But I think to fulfill it, I'll withdraw one.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept Liza Kaminski?
We were withdrawing, but, okay.
So I
Yeah,
guess I'm the only one.
I guess, yeah, as long as he withdraw, I'll say aye too. Or-
But who's making a motion here?
I guess I am.
You see, there's something to make sense of this tomorrow.
Sorry.
Sorry, I'll second it.
Okay. Okay.
And Keith, I probably have a half a dozen other jobs that I'll hit you up for.
There's a select board seat open.
Oh, no, that would not work. Not with who I live with.
Okay,
So, now you've gotta deal with the rec board.
okay. So the rec
Kicked
board,
this can down the road
Yes.
last time.
so the rec board has one too many people that would like to be on. We talked about doing an attendance. I did get the attendance from the secretary, Karen Gagne Fortin. Randy Connolly is the member that has missed the most meetings. Asking him to step down would allow for a new person to join, like LaFountain.
Fontaine.
Fontaine, sorry.
Junior,
So,
right?
Yes.
what are the thoughts of the board?
Other than drawing straws, I don't see any other fair way of doing it.
Well, that's why I figured about the attendance, because that's
That
really
makes sense.
the only evidence we have to base a decision on.
I'm fine with that.
I'll go with that.
So, it's a board of 7 and 5 of them, 5 seats were open this year. Are we doing 5 2-year terms? Are you gonna try to even things back out from when Ty
Let's try to even them
messed
back
it
out.
up last year?
So, Ty, you've asked for 1 year.
Yeah.
So, Ty at 1 year and the others at a 2-year, please.
So Ty Schwanier, 1 year.
Yes,
Mike Fontaine Jr.,
yes,
2 year.
yes.
Alan Jacobs, 2 years. Tim Luno,
Yes.
2 years. Who was the other one? Mark.
Gilbert.
Mark, 2 years. So that would make it 3 and 4. Okay.
Okay.
You're making a motion on that batch?
Yep.
Okay.
Make a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a
I'll
second?
second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay.
And by all means, that does not mean that they cannot be involved. I know the rec board appreciates Randy's service and
100%.
look happy, are always happy to have him around and to help out.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, I have one form that needs to be signed. You did appoint April St. Francis the last time for a 3-year term to continue to serve as our rep for the Northwest Solid Waste District.
Yes.
And they sent me this form that they'd like you to fill out based on that appointment.
So, we still have a lot of openings.
Oh, yeah. We still have a lister seat, a select board member seat. We will have another planning commission seat in May when Ken, he's gonna be moving. So we'll have that, Northwest Regional Planning representatives, Communications Union representatives, and Transportation Advisory is what's still out there.
What do you think about the transportation advisory? You're living with the road foreman, or the road.
Answer all his calls now.
Well, then you two would be in the know.
I'd have to think.
You go for a ride again, you go slowest.
Yeah, instead of doing just Highgate, you could do the whole county.
I'll have to think.
As long as you have your coffee, right, Keith?
Okay, so that takes care of that list. Just a couple updates. The brush depot is open again, April through November, that's at the transfer station for leaves and branches, no stumps, no big limbs. It is open on Saturdays when the transfer station is open, but during the week you need to make an appointment. We get hollered at more about this than probably any other thing in town. It's not staffed during the week. You're welcome to go during the week. Call us so we can let them know you're coming. We only want Highgate residents using it, so that's the best way for us to keep a handle on it. So that is available when people are starting to clean up their yards. Take advantage of that. Household Hazardous Waste Day is gonna be May 13th from 8 to 2 at the sand shed down by the transfer station. That is run by Northwest Solid Waste District, so you need to contact them for acceptable items and pricing. I don't have any of that, but that's the date and the time and the location. MVU's musical is coming up, April 13th, 14th, and 15th, so they asked me to put a plug in for that.
What is it this year?
Newsies?
Newsies.
I think it's a Disney, I got a flyer here somewhere. Hold please.
Start at 7.
Newsies. April 13th at 7, April 14th at 7, and April 15th at 2 and 7. MVU has great musicals. A lot of talented kids. Green Up Day, May 6th. I do not have bags yet, but I ordered way more than I normally do. We always run out, and Sharon and her newly formed committee.
Yes, so our Highgate Reaching New Heights community events group, headed by Amber Macy, is doing a plan where if you bring in your green up bags full of roadside trash, you will get Ben and Jerry's ice cream. So we will be scooping to beat the band. Hopefully everyone can bring in their trash. I've already notified Butch that he'll be having a larger than usual pile out back. So he's good with that, and we hope to see everybody come out and help clean up town. But yes, you'll get free ice cream. So get the kids involved and the whole 9 yards.
So I'll publicize when we have the green up bags. They said I should have them by the middle of April.
Yep.
So, and the only other thing I have is I wanted to thank everybody that helped at the rabies clinic this year. It was another very busy day. Pause for Thought gets me some data, and they said that we vaccinated approximately, well, they had 440 vaccinations. So some was just distemper, some was rabies, some animals got both. There was 16 people from 16 different towns that came to our clinic.
Wow.
And It was damn near perfect. One complaint that I almost don't consider a complaint based on who it was. Highgate
know who
Fire
you
was
are.
super helpful in the parking lot. Rec checked in on me throughout the day. Mary was there. Shelby, our ACO, was there. Richard was there. Had to leave me, but you were there for a bit. My daughter-in-law and my best friend were there helping me, and Pause for Thought crew. It was great. We had 623 people license their dogs on time, and fees just went up, so we're working with the rest of that list, 250 dogs or so. But we'll whittle away at that, and that's it.
Okay.
Only thing I had on the green up is park cleanup will be starting, taking place probably next weekend. Just people driving on 207, be careful, watch out for kids. There's gonna be a Cub Scout group that is doing a community service project over at the Fall Park.
Well,
Pay attention.
the Cub Scout group, we tell them to come see me on Green Up Day Saturday, and they can claim their free ice cream.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes, and as always, please be careful of needles and other drug paraphernalia. We don't want anybody to be hurt in this process. Okay, Heidi.
Okay. The first thing is an 1111 permit, which is a request to AOT to allow the development of the country club new plow turnaround. So the sketch is in there. I just need a signature on the form, and we'll send it in with the $100 fee.
Okay, everyone had a chance to look at that?
Yeah. Yes.
Do we have a motion to sign?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
So the AOT grants, the first round is due April 15th for Class 2 and Structures grant. So in your packet, there was an application for Class 2 paving for the Misha Road, beginning at the B25 bridge and going to the top of the hill. We've submitted for this one, the last 2 years, I think. I've not gotten it, but it's all equitable for all the towns, so we're probably higher up in the list. So, you don't need to sign it, no one needs to sign it, I just need you to approve it.
So, we are approving a $200,000 grant for a $254,100 worth of paving. So those at town meeting that asked, why can't we pave more roads? That is your answer.
That's only a quarter mile from
Yeah.
the bridge to
It's
the,
just a tiny,
to my driveway.
tiny section.
Yeah,
Yes.
so $254,100.
That's crazy.
It is, and it's one of the reasons that we cannot afford to pave all the dirt roads, as much as it would be nice. So do I have a motion to sign?
I'll make that motion.
There's a second.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we don't need to sign.
We currently don't have a proposal or an application for the structures grant, that none of the issues that are on the radar fit that criteria. But Butch just found a culvert on Tart Road that he thinks needs some attention, so he was gonna see if Tyler might be able to give him a proposal for that before the deadline. So I would just say they have to be submitted before your next meeting, so if you wanna authorize him to submit for that, if he can get an application together by then, or an estimate, we'll submit for it. I don't even know if it fits the criteria yet.
Well, and maybe he needs to look at the Monument Road too. If that's collapsing, maybe it's a culvert issue.
In front of them,
Is it a culvert?
It's the road, it's in the middle of the road.
It's not the culvert,
But what's
though, right?
going on underneath it? Is it a culvert, you
I
think?
don't know, I really don't know.
Um,
But it's
we
bad,
can definitely look at
it's
it.
bad, and we, like I said, we get a lot of traffic down there. 12 months a year.
Yep,
Just if it's a culvert, maybe
Uh-huh.
it's
Yeah.
another option if the other one doesn't fit the criteria.
yep. Okay, definitely.
So do I have a motion to allow Heidi to submit that structures grant online?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Right?
There is a contract from Vermont Community Development Program for a Village Core Master Plan, planning funds to supplement the other planning grant that they're working with. This one's for $16,000. And we're doing some of the match in kind.
I have
Estimated,
that to sign.
yeah, you should. You actually don't have to sign it, I just have to
Oh.
accept it online, but you should have a copy of it. If not, I'll give you this one. That's it. The one you have in your hand, that's
Okay.
it.
Okay. Alright. So that's for the planning. Okay, do I have a motion to sign the planning grant application?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
So this is gonna cover, a further environmental review of the site for the archaeological work, which we estimate is gonna be $11,000. And then more work with the consultant to come up with some solid estimates, and also to develop the RFP for potential use of this dyno. So, those are the three things that money is gonna cover. And I'll put a plug in for the May Village Core meeting. Dominic Cloud is gonna come and talk to the group about, sharing some of his insight on public-private developments while we're at this stage of the process.
Yep, I was gonna write myself a note here. Okay,
I think that's on your schedule, I wrote it on the back, if that's what you wanted. Dominic Cloud comes May 10th to speak with the Village Core Master Plan Committee. Okay, so you approved that contract. So I have a notice in your packet. We talked about this last time, and this is just to clear up some of the discrepancies that AOT pointed out to us on our mileage certificate. Some of the roads we were not keeping up to Class 3 standards. So the choice went to Butch, did he intend to keep them at Class 3? And there were a few little stumps, dead ends that he does not want to, so we're downgrading them to Class 4.
okay,
So the necessary procedure is that you would set a time for a hearing, and prior to that, you would set a site visit for each of those areas. And then this notice would be sent out to the landowners on those roads 30 days in advance of that.
okay, so we're looking at the Beor Road, Ram Road, and Waugh Farm Road. And that's only sections of it, 106-foot section of the Beor Road, a 1,479 foot section of the Realm Road and 1,215 foot section of the Waugh Farm Road. So we have a scheduled hearing of May 18th. So what about the next select board meeting?
What about Ford Road, wasn't that on that list too?
Fort Road doesn't have to be reclassified because it was just identified on the map as not up to standard, but they could not tell us why it wasn't up to standard. So that one didn't have to be noticed for this purpose. It is class 3. It will remain class 3. So, that is the earliest select board meeting that we could schedule it for, because we have to notice it for
Right.
30 days. So if that works, you could meet before at those sites and then come right here after.
Does that title work still need to be done or no?
The title work, yes, but didn't we figure out it only came down to like 3?
I don't remember how many it came down to. But Kristen says she could do the title work, but I don't know how many properties it was. Remember, mortgage holders
Yeah.
needed to be notified.
Yeah. So you could, maybe we shouldn't set the date yet.
Okay.
But if it's possible, does that work to do it, start at like 4:30, you have a 15-minute site, 15 minutes to your next appointment, and then,
This is for May 18th or prior to?
well, it would be whatever date we end up setting. So if it has to be pushed out to the next,
So,
select board
gentlemen,
meeting.
what kind of schedule? You're still in school, Richard. Is that gonna screw you up?
Yeah. I like to take a day off.
And Vern, your schedule isn't too conducive to that?
I can try my work.
Okay. Alright,
We're also gonna have a fourth member.
yes.
When are you off your crutches? Or,
Well, you're saying that it's gonna be a 6-week process.
Yeah, he's just getting his pin in, so.
so site visits might be hard for you.
No, I can make it there, and, I'll see what the terrain is, and I can be an observer and be in a comfortable position, that's the best I can do, but
Right.
I can help any way I can.
You can drive up and sit in the vehicle and
Sure.
say, yep, nope.
I don't think there'll be much walking. I suspect not many people will be interested. There aren't
Right.
really houses that are going to be affected by it, so. So you could do June 1st, but you already have planning commission hearing for that?
Let's try to do the 18th.
Yeah, you have the town plan.
May
Well,
18th.
It does, so we'll have June 1st as a tentative date if May 18th isn't possible.
Okay.
I can't make it June 1st.
No?
I can't make the select board meeting that night.
Okay.
Next first weeks.
Is this time sensitive, the reclassification?
Not really.
The second meeting in June when school's out, whatever.
The
Yeah, it'd be
15th.
better for you as well. Yeah, if you wanna put it off,
Give Kristen time to get the title or.
yeah. Okay, let's go
Yeah,
into,
we don't have anything scheduled for the 15th.
okay,
Move it to a-
Let's
if we
change
like it later, you
Yeah,
can move it to a 5:30, site visits.
later, yeah.
What time?
I put some tentative times on there, just trying to give you at least 15 minutes at the site and 15 minutes between each road to get there and park and get out. So
15th.
I was suggesting starting at 4:30, but if that's not possible, we'd push it out a little later.
$4:30.
Yeah, I can make 4:30.
okay.
What day is June 15th, Thursday?
Thursday.
Okay,
Okay.
16th graduation.
Alright, so I'll get back to you about which one of those dates works.
Okay.
So I had a call from Brian Spears, Swanton Town Administrator, and they had talked with, at one of their meetings with Swanton Police, and they were suggesting that the speed limit, 35 near MVU is way too close to MVU, and they would love to push it back towards Highgate a little bit, to give people time to slow down before they're at MVU, because it's basically very close to the driveway. So it's in Highgate, so they asked if the Highgate Selectboard would entertain that idea of requesting AOT look at that area and consider it for extending the 35 mph on the westbound side, further eastbound towards Highgate.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with
Fine
that.
with it.
Okay, so they've asked us to write a letter to AOT, so I'll put something together and send that. And I just put back in your packet for your information, the Canadian resident who was concerned about Brewer Road has written back and wanted to know why you wouldn't put up a gate, wanted to know if we would remove the roads from Google Maps, and I had explained that you already had Border Patrol here and that you were not interested in putting up a gate, but I just said I would bring it back to you again.
Yeah, I mean, he's welcome to put up a gate.
It's actually it's called the Border Commission, is the one that would put anything there. That 40 feet of border that's not owned by anybody except the Border Commission. That you have to appeal to them. As a town, we don't own that, from what I understand.
Okay, so,
On that, is there a way to petition Google Maps on removing so-called ancient roads?
I bet that would be a process for somebody who didn't have anything
It's
to
a
do for
huge
the next
process.
couple of years.
No, but I didn't mean.
and that is not me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's a multi-year process to add a road or take one off.
I don't know, yeah.
Once it's on, I realize it's off.
and we do understand that there is an increase in traffic and there is an increase of illegal goods crossing. And trust me, we don't like it any more than he does. So, see something, say something.
So I sent you electronically a copy of the town plan update, and I can print out paper copies for anyone that doesn't already have it. I made one for both of you, I believe. So the first hearing on that is on April 18th at the Planning Commission, and then it will be coming to you in June. So I thought you want it now so you could leisurely read it at your pleasure. And that's it under me. I put several things under the select board.
Okay. So, let's start with the Swanton Hydro Dam first. So the Swanton Village manager, Mr. Sheets, has asked the question, would we mind if they found an old turbine and they'd like to make a small demonstration for people that walk along the path that goes across the bridge. So they want to know if we would be allowing that to happen so that they could have a little green space that showed what was there in that building. Maybe they'd have some literature up and could be a learning function. says, I've attached a couple of pictures from an old turbine from our hydro facility. We would like to secure permission from the town of Highgate to permanently display this on your green space before the walking bridge. We would ensure that all rough edges are removed, it's painted, and some type of descriptive nameplate next to it or affixed to it. We believe this would be a nice touch to have in the area. So he does have little pictures of what's in there, which are kind of like that, hard to see, but like to have a little show and tell. So I think that'd be great.
Yep, no problem.
And for those of you interested, they do occasionally do tours of the hydro plant if you've never been through it. So can I have a motion to allow them to go forth with their,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Could you contact Mr. Sheets and tell him that that would be lovely? Alright, snowplow removal ordinance. Have you all had a chance to look at the updated version?
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think?
Good.
I think it's in line with
Yeah.
what other towns are doing. It's unfortunate we have to do this, but
Well, and I think too, if you have the ordinance, like we said before, even though you have the ordinance, it doesn't mean you have to have a strict adherence. You don't need to have a $100 fine right off if you're pleasant about it and willing to, correct a mistake. But if you're a butt about it, then yeah, you have consequences. So do we have a motion to accept, or would you like to table it and look at it more?
I'm fine with the way it's written.
Okay,
Fine.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
okay. Had, Butch had a chance to look at it, is that agreeable to him?
Yep.
Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. The benefit information, we've already gone through that, so that's taken care of. The emergency plan update. Do you need a motion to accept this as written?
Yes, please.
Okay.
You all have checked your information. I believe all the other information is current. The school does not have a buildings and grounds director yet, so we will update it later. But everything else has been updated.
Sharon,
Yes.
on your emergency plan, because I was very instrumental in developing that way back, some of the fallout shelters are down for Franklin County Field Days. So you might wanna check to make sure that that plan doesn't have that building anymore. Cause MBU and the Highgate schools are gonna find that out when we're no longer there.
Is it called something else, those buildings?
They have to call it an emergency shelter because they really didn't want anybody to know what it was.
Oh, gotcha.
It is listed under hazardous materials and public gathering site.
Will we remove it next time? Because right now we do this every year, don't we?
Yeah, every May, we have to do this. I think it's listed because there's underground storage tanks of aviation fuel there. But were you saying you thought it was an emergency site?
It was an emergency site in the event that we needed to evacuate the schools and everything. Took place way back at the first school shooting. It was a place where we were gonna put all the Highgate kids.
I think it was just MVU kids, not Highgate.
Yeah, well, it was Highgate and MVU kids, and Swanton was going to the army.
Yeah, no, the only thing listed on the actual plan is,
Was MVU.
regional shelter, Salem Town Educational Center, primary local shelter, Highgate Elementary, alternate local MVU, alternate local Swanton Central School, Mary Babcock Elementary. And that's it for,
We worked on it on that plan. The field day site itself, we made a big exercise.
but yeah, that's, looks like the only reason they are on there is, like Heidi said, is for the underground fuel tank storage. Was NRPC on here? For Sean Coleman?
Sean Coleman's name is listed on the front page, emergency management planners.
Okay. Well, that's, okay. Just knowing he was a fabulous help when we had the flood.
Absolutely, yep, he is, he's listed front and center right there. These are the people who wrote and maintained this plan, and he's listed.
Okay. Is everyone okay with this plan? Do we have a motion to accept?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And there is a walk to school day starting. So Highgate is doing their Highgate Safe Routes to School program, and they are looking for volunteers and help. So if anyone is interested, they can reach out to Amy Brewer, who is the health educator with Northwest Medical Center, and we have her contact information if you're interested. Okay. Does anyone else have a question or concern for the select board? Okay, hearing none, I would ask to exit the regular select board meeting and enter into executive with Heidi Bridge-Follett.
I'll make that motion.
Mary, you were all set with us? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all for coming.